on the dozen with a look at some of the members. Ken?
Well, Ken, there is a temptation to say this series of stories was an inside look at the Dirty Dozen, and that really isn't the case. With the dozen, anyone who isn't a member is an outsider. It doesn't take long to realize this is not just a social group. They refer to one another as brother.
To the outsider, the Dirty Dozen is an organization. To its members, it's more of a state of mind. The Dirty Dozen doesn't seem to be any one thing.
We're a close-knit club of individuals.
This individual doesn't fit the stereotype. Rick doesn't have a beard and beer belly. He says his appearance leans toward the clean cut because as a construction subcontractor, he has to deal with the public. There are, according to the dozen, several members who adopt this low-key approach, except when it comes to motorcycles.
We're all here to ride motorcycles. That's the number one requirement. You know, everybody has the same interest in motorcycles, and that's our burning love.
Members of the dozen do not live by Harley alone. This man likes the technological advances in Japanese motorcycles, although he does take a certain amount of ribbing for riding a foreign bike. He isn't a career biker. He was a skilled journeyman who says he decided he likes motorcycles more than the rat race. According to the dozen, most members work for a living at jobs like these. No doctors or lawyers, but lots of construction tradesmen. For the most part, they describe themselves as primarily laborers who are veterans, and they say politically most are Goldwater Republicans. As a culture, the dozen is a male-dominated group. Within the Dirty Dozen, the supreme compliment is to be called a man. The motorcycle is a sort of extension of that male pride, and that pride provides for a defiant defense of dignity.
We don't stand to be insulted. We don't stand for anybody to insult our women, our wives, or our girlfriends. We don't stand for someone to, try to hurt one of us.
On one hand, you can say the Dirty Dozen as a group are just people, some good, some bad, though police say the ratio is out of balance. On the other hand, they pursue a decidedly different lifestyle, and of their own choice, they have banded together.
The harder they hammer us and try to break us up and separate us, the tighter and closer knit they make us.
In case you're wondering where the name Dirty Dozen came from, the Dozen organization started about the same time the movie The Dirty Dozen came out. But they say there are no similarities between the group and the movie except for the name.
Is each member of the group tattooed, as we saw?
Well, that varies from member to member. The tattoo that you saw in that story there of the patch on the fellow's shoulder, a member in good standing after a certain period of time is allowed to transfer the patch from the back of his jacket to his person.
Okay, thank you very much, Ken.